Big announcement. We're expecting chickens. So we're expecting baby chicks the week of May 27th. I'm very excited. But what that means is our baby chicks need a brooder. Now, you can have a brooder with baby chicks, and like people use Rubbermaid totes or just totes in general. I think Rubbermaid is a brand. Not sponsored. But just use totes in general to put, like pine shavings or horse pellet shavings or whatever the shavings all in the bottom. And then you put their waterer and their food dish and all that kind of fun stuff in it so that they have a nice safe place, and you cover the top for them to grow in. But then you usually have to get them something else for the next stage of life, which means you have to buy two things. And I married a carpenter. So.
Well, can't have a marriage without a honey-do list. So let's get at it. So I'm building this coop from scrap wood that I had around the house. Had to go to Home Depot, get a couple of things, but not much. These legs I'm building, they're about 24 inches tall. And as you can see, I have the 1/2-inch plywood. And I'm going to cut that 4 feet by 4 feet. So 16 square feet. Make sure these 7 chicks going to have plenty of room to scratch and peck and do what chicks do. All right. So now I got the legs on, as you can see. Now, I tried to hurry up and get this project over with because sometimes honey-do lists, they add up. They stack up and you can easily get behind. But I wanted to get this completely out the way so the process of us getting chickens won't be held up because they don't have a place to stay. And I want to make sure these chicks live in a lap of luxury because I want some eggs. And I want eggs quick. They got to produce. All right, so now, once I got everything set, take this 1/2-inch plywood and go ahead and secure it to the legs. Yep, legs were way too tall. So I had to cut it down to about a foot. And then I add the linoleum as a moisture barrier. So once I had the linoleum, then I started building the walls. So I framed these walls. These walls are actually 24 inches tall. And here it is. I used T111 as the for the sides as the siding. I used hardware cloth and put the windows in, and we good to go. These chicks gonna be living nice in the lap of luxury. They're looking great. Look at that. Look like hardwood floors. Man, they're gonna put this on Zillow. All the chicks I want to move in here. Gonna be great. Nice. Yep, so got that out the way. Now, pretty soon, we need to get over onto the coop. But I got some time. Okay, so we finished the chicken coop. And it passed inspection. Basically, it meets her approval. So that's what the whole purpose was. To make sure that we had a coop that meets everything we needed, and it's going to be great. So the reason why we decided to raise chickens is because it's something that we can do together. Things you do together as a married couple, it really makes the marriage exciting because it's about being stoked. So I know sometimes people are concerned about when interests start to be different from one another.
Yeah.
Like I might have my interests and Kim might have her interests, and sometimes they're not in line. But if you focus on the things that you want to do together and make other things to do together, it keeps, the marriage fun and exciting.
Yeah, I think part of the fun of being married is discovering some of the things that you can do together. And oftentimes it's things that maybe look overwhelming or that you wouldn't want to do alone. So you start to kind of share interests, because at first you're just supporting the person like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a fun idea. Or you come up with ideas together, which makes it really fun. But I think it's important to focus on creating shared experiences and having shared hobbies. You can still have your own, and you will have your own, because we're individuals. We have, interests that do not overlap. Like, what do you like?
Fish.
He likes fish.
Yeah. I have a fish tank.
I don't even like eating fish.
Yeah.
Except for salmon. So
I like the aquarium.
Yeah. He likes all stinky, slimy.
Underwater, the fish don't stink.
Underwater, I know. Bobby said the fish don't stink. Yeah. But he likes that, right? That's his own hobby. That's his interest. While I have other interests. Like what? I saw you look at my dog. He looked at my dog. So I like dogs. And he tolerates dogs. So, and we have 2. So, you have those. But then at the same token, we both were like, chickens. Oh, eggs? Definitely. We already get eggs from somewhere. Like, we get them from a farm. And we're just like, we could do this. We could do it ourselves. And why did we do this? Besides that,
just because we didn't want to go get eggs from other people when we can do it ourselves.
Yeah, we wanted the convenience, even though it's not. It's a lot of work, right? You're taking in a whole new animal, but it's something. Again, like if it was, I think if we were not together, you think you would have chicken?
No, not at all.
Me either. But because we know we have each other to do it with, it makes it more interesting. Even to the point where now we were even talking about like incubating and having like one of our chickens. We don't even have them yet, to be clear, have one of our chickens to be able to like raise another chicken and to see what that would be like. So it just evolves. So you just try a few things together, and then you start to have shared interests, which is important. And it's just a part of being married and having a fun and sustainable relationship. Like that's just, it evolves, and you have to be open to that. But you do, I don't know that we have purposefully curated interests. It's just that somebody has an idea and the other person's like, that would be different or fun to try, and you just kind of do it. Right. So just be open to it. If your partner like suggests something that you're like, you're not like opposed to it or completely scared of it, like be open to the idea and just try it together, and then together you figure out like how to make it work. And then it becomes a shared interest. What else do we have that's a shared interest?
What else do we have that's shared interest?
Yes. It's funny because when we first started dating, I felt like we were completely different. Opposites attract, right? I felt like we were completely different. And
honestly, we've been together so long, I don't even know if our interests are that different anymore.
Football, that's you. Like
fantasy football?
Yeah. He all of a sudden got interested in football. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I did.
I'm blaming old age.
Could be. But yeah, fantasy football for the past 3-4 years, that's been my interest. But you support me in that interest. You give me t-shirts, mugs.
I always encourage shopping when necessary.
T-shirt, mugs.
I sent you all the way. I flew him to go meet with his, what do you call it?
What's that?
Football league.
Fantasy football league.
Fantasy football league. So they could do the draft all in person because they're all everywhere.
Right.
But what do we have shared? Our shared interests beside, I don't know. I feel like everything we do around the house. So gardening is a shared interest now. It used to be his interest. And thanks to COVID, it became and Auntie Lily. It became, my auntie put something on me and was like, you should garden. And so now I garden obsessively. But you still like gardening to a certain extent. And so now we do a lot of that together. Like he'll dig the holes. I'll plant the plants.
We go out to nurseries.
Go to the nursery.
We actually go visit nurseries.
And botanical gardens.
Oh, we got to take them to the botanical garden.
That's a date night or a date day that we definitely need to do again, especially since the weather has gotten nice.
Yeah. And that's the thing. When it comes to being stoked about your marriage, it doesn't always have to be a date night, a date day. You start incorporating things to do together instead of keeping everything separate.
Yeah. But to be clear, for any man watching, you and your wife going to the grocery store is not a date.
I'm not saying it's a date.
I know, but I'm just saying, just in case it's like, well, you just said to go somewhere together.
Well, no, not everything has to be grand, but it's about making memorable moments.
Yeah.
Memorable moments. That's the whole key, and that's finding things to do together. I mean, take a foreign language together.
Oh, we did try
sign language.
Sign language.
Yeah, which I do want to pick that back up one day, but that's later down the line. Yeah, we did sign language together. Mm-hmm. Things to do together. Half the time, not even on purpose. Because to be perfectly honest, we weren't even going to have a brooder. We were going to try to get pullets and avoid that whole thing.
I was trying to avoid baby chicks. They still call some baby chicks pullets as their girls. Like, as long as they're hens, they're like, oh, that's a pullet. Like, if you go to Tractor Supply, it says pullets. But I'm like, pullets I thought were of a certain age. But that's neither here nor there.
Either way, because we
can start talking chickens.
Yeah, we both got involved and we realized what we can do. So it became a project that we're doing together.
Yeah, and I would also really stress for anyone concerned about like, oh, my partner likes this and I don't like that, and she likes this but I don't like that, and she likes this. Man, we have nothing in common. Don't focus on what you don't have in common. Mm-hmm. Focus on finding things that you can do together that may be new for both of you. I would strongly encourage you to find things that are new for both of you. So it's not somebody necessarily having to teach somebody else something else. It's something that you're discovering together. You're kind of, it levels out the playing field and you both can figure out if you like it. It even works sometimes when you find out you both don't like it. That makes for good stories. Like, you're like, oh my God, remember we tried this and it was awful. Yeah. So it's just more about being open to spending that time together and doing something and having fun with it. Like something other than, oh, we had to pay the bills together. We had to go grocery shopping together. We had to discipline the children together. You want something that can be.
Yeah, something outside of that.
Yeah, something that will keep you keep that romance kindled.
Don't panic if you have interests that you both don't share.
Yeah. You're human. You're both adults. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, even if you do something I'm not really interested in, I still will assist to help and be around when you want to do those things.
Yeah.
I'm not like, I don't want to do that and just...
Like the football thing that you said.
Right.
Yeah. Like I have absolutely no interest in football. But do I have at least 2 or 3 fantasy? Yeah, fantasy. I would say Final Fantasy is what I usually say.
Remember? We used to do that.
Oh, yeah. Final Fantasy. He used to play and I used to dictate the whole thing. And like, oh, no, don't go over there. Go over there. Wait, we've been here already. Like the whole thing. It was a shared game experience. I love those role playing.
We used to play those role-playing games like we were watching the show.
Huh?
Like, how you watch a show?
Oh, because it was like a movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Final Fantasy.
Yes, but I have several fantasy football t-shirts, mind you, but I care nothing about football, I'll be honest. Though I do like tailgating. That's my favorite part of any football game is tailgating.
Yeah, well, that is fun.
Yeah. I will say, so a good example like that for where you've supported me is in all of my random diets.
Oh.
Over the past 30 years, how many different diet plans have I followed?
I didn't keep count because...
It's not humanly possible.
No.
It's just not possible. But every time he's like, okay, and he'll cater his cooking, or he'll try to prepare meals, or he'll order food and specifically ask, what can you have, what can you not have? And he'll kind of curtail it to my ever-changing diet.
Honestly, I know she's about to go on a diet when I really stock up on the things that she's eating.
At that moment.
By
the next week it's going to be completely different. Yeah. You got a refrigerator
right.
or a pantry full of the things that I can no longer eat.
I'm not eating that now. Yeah. That's fine. We'll eat it. Kids will eat it. They'll eat anything. I mean, maybe not the lactose yogurt. But either way, I'll put it in my smoothie. It'll get eaten.
We're digressing.
Yeah.
Okay, so in summary,
don't let your differences or different interests separate you from having a very fun and exciting marriage.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens. And think about the unity that you have, things you like doing together, and focus on that.
Yeah, it's the evolution of marriage. Just think of it that way. Like, there'll be times when you all have so many things that you have to do together, that you want to do together, and then somebody will pick up another interest and they'll get really deeply into it, and you can do something else while they're doing, It's just the evolution of marriage, and just be okay with it. Right. And then try to find something that you can do together, like chickens. All right, I think we're done here.
Yep. Until next time.
Maybe we'll have our cheekies. Well, we should definitely create more content before that happens.
Yeah, we're definitely going to create more content for that.
But chickies coming.
All right. Chickies
coming. Bye.
Gonna have a hot chick summer.
Definitely editing that out. Hot chick summer.